How's it going, guys, and welcome to another core card review. Today we're going to be looking at the war cards from the core set, and this wraps up the god cards from the core set. Next, after this we're going to have the neutral cards review as well as a bonus video, and we're currently, right now, we're running a massive giveaway thanks to our dear friend Nightlight that wanted to donate to the channel. He donated a Tiet, priest board, and a disciple board. So we're going to be giving those away at the end of the core card review. So make sure you answer every question in the description to be able to. So let's start and jump right in. The first card we have here is Deadly Arsenal, which for me before it was a 4 stars, but it recently got nerfed from giving creatures +2/+2 to +2/1, and I would argue that this card is not as good as it was before, because the +2/+2 was really powerful before. Now I would argue that this is a 3 stars because it doesn't give a lot of survivability. It only gives a lot of damage potential, but it's not like that great of a card now. It's interesting to see how just one tiny change just makes the card pretty much useless compared to other cards. You could be running other cards instead of this, because one of the best things about this was giving survivability to creatures. So 3 stars. Then we have Auric Rush, which is a 4-star card, where you deal 1 damage to each creature, or you can choose pick one, or dealing 1 damage to a specific 2 damage to a specific creature. This is one of the only targeted removals that War has, because War follows kind of like the same principle as Nature. It doesn't have a lot of really good spells. It compensates for that in terms of having really good creatures and really good relics. So this is definitely a 4-star card. Then we have Reckoning, which pulls a random relic from your deck to your hand. If you're only running with 1 relic in your deck, then it's not random. It's a targeted draw. So I would argue this card is really good if you want to get your hands on a specific relic, if you want to get a finisher, and perhaps with the Trial of the Gods as time goes on with, for example, with Valka and her weapon, the axe. This is going to be a nice combo to have. So this card is definitely a 4-star card. Then we have Cartesian Improviser, which is a better card than Deadly Arsenal. I would argue that this is a 4-star card. Right now, I would advise anyone that has had Deadly Arsenal in their deck, you might as well change that for Cartesian Improviser, because even though it's a random creature in your hand, you're getting a 2/1 on top of that. So you're getting 2 extra strength for the same amount of mana. So 4 stars for me. Then we have Bladecaster, which is this creature gets +1 health after it attacks a creature. This card is definitely a 3-star card. The problem is that it needs to attack creatures, so it would benefit from having a higher stat line, or if it was on 1 mana, 1/3, for example, it would be much better. So for now, 3 stars. Then we have Tavern Prowler, which is a 1 mana 2/2 with Blitz. I'm only gonna put this in the 4-star category because War doesn't have a lot of targeted removal, so this is kind of like the same, because it has Blitz, it can go against another creature, so I would consider this a targeted removal. Then we have Avalanche Strike, which deals 2 damage to a creature. If you have a relic, it deals 12 damage instead. So this card is definitely a 4-star card, because it's a really good removal, and if you have a relic, you remove 1 durability from it, and this can deal 12 damage, which can deal with really high starter creatures. And depending on how this goes in terms of the meta in the next expansions, this card can become much more powerful than what it is already. Then we have Warmongers Smith, where it gives your relic +2 strength for its next attack. This is good to be played in really aggressive decks, but it's an okay card in my opinion. It's going to be 3 stars. It doesn't see a lot of play. Then we have Belligerent Warlock, which is another 3-star card. Even though it allows you to draw, it's a taxi creature. So this basically only works, you're only going to draw 1 card There's two options. You either draw only one card, or you buff this card beforehand and then you're able to trade against multiple creatures. But typically when you play this, they're gonna get rid of it right away because they don't want to give you draws. So it's definitely a 3-star card because it's not that great. Then we have Enduring Shield, which is a 4-star card. It's super annoying. After your god is attacked, it gains protected, and this relic loses 1 durability. It can give you a lot of sustainability in the early game, which War doesn't have. So I would argue that this card is really good for that. So I'm gonna put it in the 4-star. Then we have Signal Scouts. Draw a card for each injured creature. Basically, it's one of the few draw mechanics that War has. I would argue that this needs to be a lower mana cost. It needs to be at least 2 mana to be able to be viable. If that's the case, then this would be a good card to play because typically you have a lot of damage creatures, or you can deal 1 damage to everything, or things like that. But since it's not, I'm gonna put this in the 3 stars. Then anti-magic wards. Add a mana lock to your opponent's mana gems. This is definitely a 2-star card because you're not going to be spending 3 mana just to add a mana lock to your opponent. It needs to be at least 2 mana locks, and even then, people don't typically run this and locking the mana locks of your opponent because you're wasting a lot of tempo on this. So definitely 2 stars. Then we have Cartesian Skirmisher, where it gives a friendly creature Twin Strike. I believe this is a typically bad card, even though you're giving Twin Strike to a creature and it might be good for trades and things like that. This stat line's terrible. This needs to be at least a 3 mana 3/3 in order to be viable. So I'm gonna put this in the 2-star category for now. Maybe it gets buffed in the future because you never know with core cards. They can always be changed and things like that. Then we have Trojan battlemage, which has Twin Strike and Protected. So basically, if you pair this with an Onslaught or things like that, you basically have 4 mana targeted removal because it can deal up to 6 damage, or it can kill 2 creatures, which is even better. So this card is definitely really good. It's gonna go into the 4-star territory because it's a really good card to play because War typically doesn't have targeted removals, and this gives you the option to do that. Then you have Bladed Sticks with God Blitz and 3/2. For me, it's a 3-star card. It might be interesting to run on super aggressive decks, but for that you just run the Sides of War, which are much better. Other than that, this is an okay card, so 3 stars. Then Mercenary Troop. Add 3 randomized warriors to your hand. So the warriors are going to be 3/2s with no, actually 2/2s with random spells. They either get +1 attack or frontline or ward or things like that. So I would consider this draw 3 cards for 4 mana, which is kind of on par with Rune Viper Tincture. And if you have the tempo advantage and you want to beef up your hand with a lot of cards to give you possibilities, then this is a good card. But typically I wouldn't be spending 4 mana to add cards to my hand because the thing with Nature and War is that you always want to have the tempo advantage in terms of creatures on the board because you have really powerful creatures. So I'm gonna put this card in the 3-star category for sure. Maybe it becomes better in the future, I don't know. Then we have Viking Longship, where it has Blitz and Flank and gives another friendly creature each other friendly creature flank. This is a fairly good card. It's really good as a finisher, so I'm gonna put this card in the 4-star category because it can be really good as a finisher, and people typically tend to overlook flank, so it can become super good. Then we have Tamed Mammoth, which is another 4-star card because after a friendly creature takes damage and survives, this creature gets one strength. So this card can be ramping up forever and it can become super dangerous, and its stat line is fairly good. 5 health is really good for what you get, and this can easily go to 5/5, 6/5, 7/5 if you play it well. So definitely 4 stars. Then we have Devouring Blade, which destroys a random creature, and it's an afterlife. So typically what you would be doing with this is that, this is interesting because this bypasses wards, so it's a interesting thing to have if they're playing super powerful creatures that have ward, and It's a random creature, so we can target your creature. So this only works if they have one super high creature on the board. But in that case, it's really good. I've used this and I was able to deal with a Hydra because it bypasses the ward mechanic. So you just leave it at attack once, leave it at 3/1, and then when he summons the Hydra, you attack and you kill the Hydra. Or you can even, because it's an afterlife, you can use Devouring Blade and put another relic on top, which is going to trigger the afterlife from this card. So it's a targeted removal as well. So I'm going to give this card 4 stars for sure. Then we have Red Cream Serum, another 4-star card, giving 5/5 to a creature and burn 1. It's not giving that high of a burn, so it's not that bad. And you're giving a lot of stat line, and this can combo with some cards that make them absolutely bonkers and crazy. So this is definitely a 4-star card. Another 4-star card is the Counter Sweep, which is the only board clear that War has right now, which deals 2 damage to every creature, and if you have a relic, you remove 3 durability, which basically destroys your relic, because most relics have under 3 durability, and destroy all creatures instead. So this is it's a setup, but it's a really good board clear for War, and one of the few it has. So definitely 4 stars as well. Then we have Orcish Elite, another 4-star card. It's a 5-mana 2/5 with Blitz and Train Strike, so it allows you to deal with stuff on the board as soon as it's played, which makes it pretty good. Other than that, it's a fairly good card, and it's in a lot of war decks, so it's 4 stars. Then we have Auric Mage with Backline, Leech, Roar, and ability, deal 1 damage to each creature. So basically, it also deals 1 damage to itself, but it's not each other creature. But I haven't seen this being played at all, so I'm gonna put this card in the 3-star category. Even though the effect's good, it hasn't seen any play. Then we have Actor Prince of Troy, where if any creatures in your void have Blitz, Flank, Frontline, Leech, so any effect basically, if the creatures in your void have it, this is gonna gain it. So this is a really good card to play in the end game, because you're gonna be getting a lot of benefits. But I'm still not gonna put this in the 5-star category because it's not that good. So I'm gonna put this in the 4-star category. It's a really good card to be playing on turn 7 mana. Then we have Grindle, Night Terror, Blitz, Twin Strike. After this creature attacks another creature, this creature becomes protected. So basically it has Blitz, you can target the creature right away. It would be much better if it had protected, and the first trade would be for free because it's 8 mana, so you're committing a lot of mana. I would argue that for this amount of benefits, I would put this at 7 mana and would bring it down to 5/5 and put it at 7 mana. To be viable. Then, so we're gonna put this in the 4-star category as well. Then we have our Rune Blade, which has God Blitz. Whenever you attack, deal 2 damage to each creature and heal your god for the damage done. So this is another type of board clear, but I would argue that for 8 mana, like rallies need to be really good if their cost is this high. So I would argue that this needs to have more durability. It needs to be at least 4 durability or 5. For 8 mana to be able to be viable. Since it's not, I'm gonna put this at 3 stars. Anyways, guys, make sure you smash that like button down below and answer the question in the description. Don't forget, there's a giveaway for this video and a mega giveaway going on. I hope to see you guys next time. Next, we're gonna jump right into the neutral card reviews for the core set. And see you guys next time. Peace out. Bye bye.